Heyo, how's it going? Christy here. You've been following my weight loss journey and how I stay on routine and tasks even though I've got ADHD and all sorts of other excuses to fail. So, I have been testing out this new bracelet project. If you go back in the videos, there's better descriptions of it, but it basically is my 22 bead bracelet. We use fullness points and I track throughout the day how much I eat based on a scale of 1 to 10. So I have the equivalent of 3 meals to a 5, 2 meals to a snack to a 3, and 1 point that I use for like a beverage. You know what I mean? Like I don't count 0-calorie beverages. So like I've been drinking like some of that diet soda, the 0-calorie stuff. I keep forgetting to admit that. But I'm letting myself have that for now. For one, I've always chewed sugar-free gum, so it was like, why am I banning that anyway? It obviously doesn't do much to me in the short term at least. And right now it's just kind of helping me because it doesn't really count as points, but it does do one sneaky little thing. It does act as that little dopamine kick that my brain is still craving from like snacking sugary snacks all day long. It still wants that like feeling like it is. So for right now, and not forever, but for right now, the diet sodas are staying in. Also, I went to Costco, obviously, and I got they had a Tupperware set that was like a big jug and a little jug, and they were plastic, but they both had like lids, and then it had these like 4 cups that had lids on them too. And I was like, oh, I bet you those cups with lids would be real convenient, so I got them. And then this morning I was making my breakfast and I was so hungry. Like I go to bed full, but I wake up hungry. It's just because I'm on a slight deficit. It's like how I know it's working. So I wake up, I do my little fasted workout. If I have, you know, the energy, I kind of faked it this morning. I've been so lazy about the working out, I'll be honest. But, you know, definitely not hitting my 10,000 steps. Before I started this, I was gaining weight and doing 10,000 steps a day. Now I'm losing weight and I'm getting like 2,500 to 5,000, maybe 7,000 steps a day. I basically stopped my walking routine and I've been losing weight, so it's been great. So anyway, back to that. I woke up this morning and I was so super hungry, so I made myself this like breakfast with like, it seemed small. It was like 2 boiled eggs, and then I had like a small piece of sourdough toast because it was like one of the smaller end pieces kind of thing. And I was eating that, but I had already made myself a protein shake. I had done it in one of my little tuppies with the little lid. This thing works like a perfect shaker bottle. And so I do that, I shake it up. Sometimes I shake it up a little early just to make sure it gets every chunk out of it, and then I put it back in the fridge, and then later I shake it up again. But I kind of beefed this baby up. I had my ultra filtered 2% milk that I got at Costco too. It's a new item there. So much cheaper than getting the Fairlife. And then I put a scoop of the whey protein, the Ascent whey protein that I like in there. So that's 25 extra grams of protein. So now we're at 13 plus 25. So what is that? That's like 38. And so we're at 38. So then I added 5 grams of protein from marine collagen. So now we're at 42. And then I added like a quarter of a cup of Greek yogurt, which fat-free Greek yogurt, which added like another like 10 grams or 8 grams or something of protein into it. So by the end of that, my whole meal in total with the eggs and the protein shake and everything turned out to be like 62 grams of protein. And it had the carbs, it had all sorts of different things to help fill me up. So I'm sitting there thinking I'm gonna finish the whole thing, and I didn't. And what's really cool, these cups, I know it sounds kind of silly, but one of my things is, you know, we're using the bracelet. We're not trying to keep the bracelet for life. What we're trying to do is train our bodies to eat intuitively, and it's just training wheels for your intuition while you pick up on that. And then eventually, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm going to see, we're in the very, very beginnings of testing. So right now we're still in a downslope. Right now I still need proof that it stops at the bottom and that it doesn't cause people to like accidentally give themselves an eating disorder or something. That would be a major problem because we're looking at trying to help people who currently have eating disorders raise their eating thresholds. So we're still in the very, very early phases. We want to see that this gets me down to like a good ideal healthy weight, but not farther than that. And so we're still playing around with this concept, and definitely do not try this unless you have the advice of your doctor. They think that this plan is kind of right for you and they feel like it's safe. You know, this is something, again, it's an experiment and I don't know quite yet. But I was just so delighted and so happy that, like, for one, apparently my stomach is shrinking because I was like so hungry this morning. And my tiny little breakfast, I still have like half of my protein shake left, and I get to conveniently cap it with my awesome little cap, which is another thing that skinny people will do. They will stop right when they're done eating. They're not going to try to take it all the way to a 10. They really are usually eating to like a 5. And then they'll put it away. They'll throw it away. They'll give it away. They'll do anything with that food other than sitting there stuffing it. And so I was just so proud of myself that, like, I just automatically caught that and like was like, wait, this can at least, you know, wait till later. It's just, I'm not going to throw it away, but it helps. And then one other thing people keep asking me, because I've been talking about this a lot off of YouTube, is how do you know that you're at a 5? And this is a pretty good answer for this one. Usually when you're eating and you're eating and you're eating, you can't actually tell when you hit a 5. Your brain doesn't know for 20 minutes how full it is inside your stomach. But, and most people, you can try me on this one. This is my cue to tell when I'm getting to a 5. I'll be eating, and then suddenly I'll be able to be distracted from eating. And I'll like put down the fork and I'll be like paused for a second. And then if I catch myself at that pause, that's my 5, you know? And so if I don't, and I come back and eat, that's when I start heading into 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11. And 11 doesn't count, right? That doesn't exist. But, you know, so that's my way. Just as a quick tip for the end there, when you naturally catch yourself at a little bit of a dip in your speed of eating, that's usually when your body is actually full. To the 5 level, which is our ideal fullness. The only other one I've heard of was eating to a 3 for the yoga diet, and that's pretty extreme. That's for pretty skinny, you know. And again, you could do that with this too. You would just be eating to a 3 7 times a day. So whatever works best for you. Cheers to that. Take care of yourselves, please.